Hey Egan, it's Rebecca Ryan. I was just with you guys a couple weeks ago leading a series of 4 focus groups within the community. And the next time I'm going to see most of you is going to be at the end of January when we roll out the plan. And sometimes people want to know, all right, between all this public input we've been giving, every Friday there's been a new question going out on Facebook. The cityofeagan.com/forward has had like a running commentary about your wishes for making Eagan better for the next 20 years. And then we just had all these focus groups, right? What the heck do you do with that? Like what happens between when I left and when I'm coming back? So I wanted to take you a little bit behind the scenes of what we've got going on here. So whenever I'm sitting down to do a plan or work on visioning based on all of this community input, of course we're looking for themes, right? Like what are a lot of people talking about? And it used to be that literally a team of people would go through like all of this feedback. Like this was the students group, their best ideas on these few sheets of paper here. Primarily the senior citizens, all their feedback. And then we've got over here the large community evening session, and then down here we've got the Thomson Reuters focus group results. And it used to be that we would literally go through and cut apart each of the flip charts and group the themes in a very physical way. Even more than that, if we wanted to be really in depth, we would have transcripts made of every single conversation at every single table, print all the transcripts out and cut people's sentences out and cluster them together. But thankfully we live in a digital age, right, where we can now scan these and produce handwritten, or typed up things, and look for using products through IBM and others to look for the most popular phrases and so forth. That all happens electronically now. So theme identification is going to be one thing, right? So all of the feedback that you heard, especially if you heard it more than a couple of times, you're going to see that in the final plan. And then the other kind of big thing that I do here in the studio, you can see some of these maps, right? So these are parks, trails, and sidewalks. This is actually my favorite one. This is the zoning map, very, very colorful. Pam Dutzika took me through the city and showed me a bunch of this stuff. You can see where I kind of got it marked up, right? And then we've just got the parks and street map, and that also includes the independent school districts, so that spatially I know sort of what we're talking about. Because when we think about the vision for Eagan for the next 20 years, we've got to be thinking about, what is the experience going to be like when people are driving on the streets or walking on the sidewalks? What is the experience going to be that we're going to help shape for them over the course of the next 20 years? So those maps come in handy big time. And then the other thing I'm doing, which is a little bit harder to capture here, is there are some communities who have already gone through what Eagan has gone through, or who are trying to do some of the things that I'll be recommending in this plan for these next 20 years. And so there's a huge inventory of best practices and examples and case studies, so that when it comes to Eagan starting to implement this 20-year plan, they're not starting cold, you're starting warm, right? So that's some of what's going to be happening here. A lot of synthesis of all of these inputs that you've been so generous in giving me. And hopefully you're going to see your voice come through, especially if it joined with the voices of others for the things that you're really caring about for this community for the next 20 years. So keep on cooking, keep those inputs coming in. I know we're keeping all the channels open through the end of the month, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the end of January. Take care, Eagan. See you soon.